don't really think that your brother and sister-in-law...
They hung out with people.
Hold on.
Hung out. I take it back from Caroline Manzo.
You don't...
I spoke to the FBI.
Andy, there is some proof.
I know proof, okay?
I don't even know the man you're talking about. You think we were hanging out with an ex-partner of Joe? How do we even know him? Why would we know you were going to jail?
The bigger implication...
Since its debut in 2009, The Real Housewives of New Jersey has been a drama-filled series. The first 2 seasons provided conversation starters for viewers, but the arrival of Melissa and Joe Gorga in season 3 fundamentally altered the course of the show going forward. There was no other Bravo feud like the Gorgas' never-ending arguments with Teresa and Joe Giudice. Every year, the family dynamic was tested from the stripper gate to the current cheating gate. The Giudices' combined 56-month federal prison term for fraud must have been the family's most trying period, though. So, what's the latest update? Stay till the end to know everything. Hey everyone, welcome back to Topish. We have some exciting stories that are full of lip-smacking delicacies, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. With that being said, let's begin. Teresa and Joe have moved on with their new lives after escaping from prison. Recent claims regarding those who gave up the Fed's information about Trey and Joe's sources of funding, however, have put a stop to their plans. Joe Giudice is aware that the Gorgas informed the authorities about him. Joe Giudice defended his ex-wife's assertions that the Gorgas are too responsible for their prison sentences on David Yontef's podcast, Behind the Velvet Rope. They were close friends with my ex-partner's attorney when they were in the show, Joe remarked, which went on to the feds, and I think Melissa and Joe were involved. Juicy Joe said he is pals with an ex-FBI guy who, for a fact, told him that Melissa and Joe were involved. Giudice was informed by the former special agent that his sister-in-law and brother-in-law were helping behind the scenes with law enforcement. Joe asserted that by providing information to the authorities, they directly contributed to their course of action. They went to the feds to feed them all this information, he claimed. Yes, I may have falsified some information, like my tax returns for example, but who didn't? Actually, Joe, the majority of folks. There's a significant difference. Not a minute tax write-off, but 15 charges of fictitious fraud are what we're referring to. In either case, Trey and Joe have a right to be irate if Melissa and Joe did inform the authorities. The first episode of The Real Housewives of New Jersey just aired, and it was there that Teresa Giudice and Melissa Gorga met for the first time, following Melissa and Joe Gorga's absence from Teresa's nuptials to Louis Ruelas. The squabbling family lost no time in starting to trade barbs and make attempts to resolve their differences, with Andy Cohen acting as a go-between. After she and her ex-husband Joe Giudice were found guilty of fraud in 2015, Teresa made a shocking accusation against her brother and sister-in-law Melissa and Joe. Teresa claimed that Melissa and Joe were to blame for her imprisonment. Joe and Teresa were both given consecutive sentences after entering guilty pleas to various counts of fraud in 2014. The mother of 4 who received a sentence of 15 months in federal prison began serving her term first. She was arrested in January 2015 and freed at the beginning of December. After serving his 41-month sentence at the Federal Correctional Institution at Fort Dix, Joe was released from jail in March 2019, when he was turned over to ICE custody and transferred back to his native Italy. Teresa asserted that Joe and Melissa were hanging out with this man around the time of their financial crime drama, after explaining that her ex-husband's ex-partner didn't go to jail because he revealed Teresa's involvement. Melissa insisted that she didn't know the man and compared the allegation to a similar rumor that has circulated the Bravoverse in the years following Teresa's release. This is like Caroline Manzo throwing you in jail, says one. Melissa says about Teresa's former buddy turned adversary. I take that back, Teresa says. I think you did. Teresa also brings up Melissa's podcast, in which she and Joe claim to have put food on the table for their daughters while Teresa was in prison. Melissa revealed that she and her family produced a special episode of the show, Teresa Checks In, so that everyone could receive compensation. However, Teresa claimed her brother only paid her a single visit while she was imprisoned, and that she didn't feel supported by him at the time. Teresa was convinced that it was because the cameras weren't rolling to record him being there for her sister. Melissa claimed it was because Teresa wouldn't add him to her visitor list. Melissa explained, he wasn't on the list until he was going to help you for Teresa Checks In. Melissa responds by alleging that Teresa has been lying and that she's had enough of Melissa's falsehoods. Teresa then declares that she will never cover for Melissa again. As the episode progresses, it becomes apparent that the couple's romance is over, both in their fictional and actual lives. Teresa says to Melissa, "I'm never going to look at your face again," and Melissa responds with a bye-bye in the manner of a kid. Okay, let's go on and discuss what the audience believes to be done next. So, for more than 10 years, we've tuned in each week to witness a group of affluent ladies in New Jersey resolve their disputes in the most stereotypically Jersey manner possible, with raised voices, quotable slurs, and turntables. The Real Housewives of New Jersey appear to be in jeopardy as they gear up to film their 14th season. The drama has been described by Andy Cohen of Bravo as a standoff between the cast and the sister-in-law Teresa Giudice and Melissa Gorga, with each lady refusing to cave to the demands of the other. Giudice, a franchise mainstay and the lone surviving member of the original ensemble, is situated on one side. Gorga, on the other hand, has been a steadfast regular on the series since joining the cast in the 3rd season. Why are the events of the famous reality series now coming to a climax? Anyone who's followed the prior seasons of New Jersey will notice that the relationship between Giudices and the Gorga's family have consumed plotline after plotline, especially since Melissa and her husband Joe Gorga first appeared on the show. Giudice and Joe Gorga were best friends their entire lives and into young adulthood, but according to Giudice, this was until Melissa entered their lives. They were close siblings from the day they were born, and Giudice claims that since her brother began seeing his current wife, they've grown apart, which has broken the hearts of their parents, who both passed away in recent years. Could it be that one of these women should retire from the cast since one of Bravo's most cherished franchises is at capacity? After a turbulent season 13, the tension is intense, and their endeavor to achieve lasting peace has failed. Will Real Housewives of New Jersey keep up with the Gorga/Giudice divide that's been going on? It's difficult to predict what will happen with the show moving forward because contracts are still pending and tensions between the Gorgas and Giudices remain high. Each side wants the other eliminated from the game. Although it would be absurd for Bravo to cut Giudice, it's possible that more of her tale may be revealed in a context unrelated to the female rivalry. What if the network borrowed a leaf from earlier spin-offs like Kim Zolciak's Don't Be Tardy from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Monzo's Monzo'd with children from The Real Housewives of New Jersey? Both shows were successful, with Don't Be Tardy completing 8 seasons, whereas Monzo'd with children only managed to complete 3 before it was cancelled. Watching the tiny Giudices on a single project would be a nice way to offer both families what they want, the absence of the other, as we've been following them since they were young children, and one even before she was born. Given that the girls are older and less involved than they were in the initial months with gymnastic competitions and rap performances, the Giudices would love the chance to highlight the family dynamics. Additionally, it would offer the Ruelas and his 2 boys an opportunity to be in the spotlight, giving viewers a chance to comprehend the relationship between the newlyweds for better or for worse. Depending on which way the pendulum swings, Giudice and Ruela's reputation might be restored, and viewers might come around to the couple's point of view, although it seems doubtful as long as they remain in New Jersey. Monzo and her husband, 2 kids and a daughter, are a mainstay during the show's first several seasons and are often regarded as the show's original family. The Monzo family, who ran a well-known event venue in Peterson, New Jersey, maintained their strength unlike the Giudices and Gorgas. Each of the children has their own struggles, but they were able to succeed with the support of their parents. After 5 seasons in New Jersey, the Monzos left for their own adventure with Monzo'd with children, which allowed them to focus on their own tale without being distracted by the constant drama involving other cast members, particularly Gorga and Giudice. The 3-season series was a hit for the network, just as the Giudice-focused spin-off may be. For 13 years, we've watched the Giudice kids develop from wannabe rappers and toddler models to young women with unique stories. One daughter continues to make appearances while the show is being filmed, and their perspectives on the relationship between their mother and their aunt and uncle give it a more complex appeal than just the grown-ups shouting at one another. This season, we saw the girls, especially Gia and Melania, leap to their parents' defense when the Gorgas called into doubt their loyalty. They even stood up to give speeches during the wedding of their mother and Ruelas, showing off how fiercely protective they are of her new relationship. A Giudice-centered spin-off might provide girls with chances beyond their current standing on the series, just as Monzo'd with children was able to do for the Monzo family. That ends today's video. Please leave a comment below to let us know what you think will happen. Like and share this video to stay up to date on their progress, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Topish keeps you up to date on all the latest Hollywood celebrity news, drama, and gossip. Subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos and updates, and we'll see ya in the next video.